Thank you for the kind introduction and for the invitation. This is my first CSEDU and my first time to Portugal, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about the city, about the country, and about this conference. I noticed that the last session went over a little bit, so people are still trickling in, and it's good because I'm actually going to start with a little activity, so it's not a problem if people are still trickling in. What I would like to do in the next few minutes is to introduce two scenarios to you, two possible futures of where computer-supported collaborative learning could be going. One is a more negative one, a dystopian scenario. One is a more utopian one, a utopian scenario. And they're taken from a recent paper that I wrote with two colleagues, my colleague Aaron Walker and my colleague Vincent Aleven. I don't claim that these are sort of the only futures or anything, so don't even start me there. Just try to, when you listen to the scenarios, detect what kind of support do you find in the scenarios. So where is the support in those scenarios, the computer support to the collaboration? And what do you think makes them dystopian or utopian? I'm going to start with a dystopian scenario. It's Janet who will be collaborating with Roxanne. Please take some notes and think about it because we'll need it later. Janet got to school and ran to her first class period, chemistry. She looked down at her digital organizer to see who she was assigned to today, Roxanne. Crap. She'd worked with Roxanne 3 times in the past 2 weeks, and each time they ended up arguing heatedly about one thing or the other. Last time, Roxanne had asked their teacher, Mr. Rokeback, to be assigned a different partner. Mr. Rokeback said that the system was pairing the two of them because they experienced constructive conflict. Janet thought that personally she could do with a little less conflict and could not quite see how the frustrating experience with Roxanne could be constructive. But as the technology director of the school always said, Rummel knows best. Rummel was the adaptive collaborative learning system implemented by the school, and there was no way to argue against the choices it made. Okay, Mr. Rokeback said, get in your pairs and check your prescribed activity. Janet reluctantly walked over to Roxanne and sat in the chair beside her. She looked down at their digital desk to see which lab activity was prescribed. They were supposed to figure out which functional groups were present in an organic molecule presented to them in a 3D on their screen. As they worked, the system continuously prompted, Janet, can you explain your reasoning? Janet, what do you think about what Roxanne just said? Rummel understood all their speech actions, and its collaborative model could respond instantaneously to guide them in the right direction. The system was so sophisticated it could predict with 99% accuracy who should work